Yes, I'm going with it. Absolutely. Listen, it is now time. We are heading straight into this morning show. Of course, Dr. Beaubrun is already here with us, and we're going to be delving into a lot this morning. I don't know how much of it we could fit into that little half an hour there, but we're going to make it work. Yes, of course, our partners, Courts and the First National Bank, thank you so very much. We are also live on our YouTube channel. So go on over to YouTube, look for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. You'll find us there. Subscribe, turn on your notification, and share the live. It's not a lot. Trust me, I promise you. Once you turn on the notification, you do not have a problem. Every time we go live, you will get that little nudge to let us know that we're live. So that's all you're gonna do, really, basically. And I really do love it over there. So give us a minute. Let's take a word from our partners, and then we come right back and we start the conversation here on She Speaks.
This season, set the trend. Be seen wearing the best and latest styles in eyewear from Quartz Optical. World-class brands like Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Armani, Kate Spade, Vogue, and much more. New brands, new styles, starting at only $799 with special financing available. Plus, trade in and save up to 35% off all lenses. Yes, set the trend and save a massive 35% off all lenses when you trade in your old pair of glasses today. Book your free eye exam right now only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Listen, you'll hear me apologizing to Doc. It's the story of our life. Every 2 minutes I have to keep up. Doc is so patient with me. Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
No, man. Well, we had to have you. We're just wrapping up this entire month of October, and what better way to wrap it up, like I said in my preamble, because, I mean, where you've headed with your practice is certainly... like you said, it's not the future, but it's certainly like it's the future.
It is the future.
It is the future. It's the future.
But it's bringing the past back into the future.
Yes. So right. So very well said. Well, we've had you here before. Although it's been a while.
5 years ago.
I was trying to remember how long
I had
ago.
Just come back.
Right. It was a long time ago. I remember you were wearing green that time. It was some recognition, and it was green.
It Women's Month or Women's International Women's Day? First wearing
something
green.
Green. Right, yes. And I remember that distinctly. And I said, boy, it's been a while.
Yes.
So we never had it back before that.
But then we talked.
But it was in that platform. Here, no. All right. Well, you know what? It was due. It was long overdue. So welcome back.
Thank
you. And quite an opportune time as well. Most of the patients that or the guests, we've had a few guests, because normally we do the cancer-related personnels within the month of October. And quite a few of our people, well, maybe people I've spoken to, and they said, well, when I was diagnosed, Dr. Tanya, and I'm hearing the name so often. So you are not out of place being here this morning in that bracket of the breast cancer awareness. So we delve into that first, because we've spoken about you already.
Is
so we don't want to do that.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Right.
It's also Creole Awareness Month.
Yes. So
not Creole. It's Menopause Awareness Month and it's Creole Month.
It's Menopause Awareness?
It's Menopause
and
Awareness Month.
And I need to be so aware.
Yes.
Right.
So I think October is a fantastic month, and it's a fantastic end of the way to end the month if we speak about not just breast cancer but women's wellness
in general.
Because I'm sure we've heard the survivor stories.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I like to call them thrivers.
Yes.
Because they are thriving.
Absolutely.
They've done more than survive.
Absolutely.
I think what I wanted to encourage the listeners out there is to take ownership of their bodies and their health and their lives.
Yeah.
So I think I tell patients for breast cancer, you're going to either feel something, see something, or know something.
Right.
So you're either going to feel a lump or you're going to feel a sticking pain or tingling pain or discomfort, because it's not most of the time you feel nothing except and the lump is not painful. So you may feel the lump, you may feel a discomfort, you may see abnormal discharge from the nipple, you may see a thickening of the skin or what we call orange peel dimpling, or you might actually see the skin retract into, so it looks like something is pulling this from inside. You might see a redness, you might feel a warmth.
Wow.
But sometimes you just know something is off. And I keep telling women, if you're in tune with your bodies, you will know when something is off. Right. And I very rarely will poo-poo a woman who tells me, I just have a feeling something is off. I will check.
Yes.
Because we know our bodies. You know, we have our monthly periods, and then we just know when something is not quite right. So these are the signs and symptoms. And of course, it's such an easily preventative disease in the sense that if it is caught early by mammograms and sometimes ultrasound, if it's necessary because the breasts are dense, we save lives. So mammograms really do save lives.
Right.
I've seen it over the past 30 years of practice.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask. I mean, I spoke to a few of the medical practitioners as well, and we never really talked in terms of the success rate in terms of diagnosis and
I think it's difficult because it also depends on the type of cancer. So not all breast cancers are the same.
Right.
So when you detect it early, your survival rate is also dependent on a number of factors, including the type of cancer.
Okay.
But most diseases can be prevented by lifestyle. Lifestyle.
Okay.
And that is why I'm so big on well-being, on tuning into our body. And my Body Joy method has the 3 pillars, body, mind, and soul joy. Because it's not just about looking good, you know, and I'm looking slim and I feel good and I've lost all the weight. I want to know what else is going on a cellular level. Are your cells working the way they should? Are your hormones talking to each other the way they should?
Okay.
Is your brain working well? Is your heart working well?
Wow.
Because many times little we get it's like a puzzle, and you put it together and you say, okay, this I'm seeing a tendency towards this. Let me follow up, or let me do further testing to make sure. So it is important that the women out there take ownership of their health. And there are some who tell me, I'll do my labs later on. The labs are too expensive.
We're laughing because this one fall right at my plate. Square there. If you see how it sit down on the plate, square.
A nice big plate of Creole food for you.
One time.
Yes. So what it is, and I keep telling people, but my labs are good. And I said, well, yes, there's no red on your labs, but perhaps I'm seeing a trend that wasn't there. So maybe it was your blood sugar was 86 2 years ago, and then now it's 92. Or last year it was 92, and now it's 96. When it's climbing up, next year it will be 100. Now between 100 and 124, you're labeled pre-diabetic. So when you start creeping towards that 100 pre-diabetic range, the easiest thing is to prevent it before it gets to that. So these are some of the reasons why I am so almost overly passionate about getting annual physicals, getting getting a hands on a patient and seeing the patient and examining the patient. So that is the importance of not just breast cancer awareness. What about cervical cancer? A simple pap smear every year, every other year, can detect changes in your cervix that can prevent you dying of cervical cancer. There's so many preventative things. Menopause Awareness Month. so many people are just saying, I have to suffer through this.
Right.
You don't have to suffer through anything.
You know what? I want us to have. I think we need to have a full-blown conversation on
you
this
don't
topic
have to
alone.
suffer through anything. Why do you feel that you must suffer through hot flashes and suffer through the mood swings and suffer through the night sweats and just irritability and all of that? And you say, oh, it's a phase. It's an absolutely wonderful phase of life. Right? It's an absolutely wonderful phase of life. And I do believe that menopause comes with many blessings and many lessons.
Right.
And it is up to us to take charge. Don't let menopause take charge of us. But coming up to menopause is even more important, the perimenopausal stage that can start as early as your late 30s.
Right.
If you start to take care of yourself, if your hormones, and when I talk about hormones, most people are talking about, think about estrogen and progesterone and all the sex hormones, because that's what they feel hormones are.
Right.
But there are a myriad of hormones in your body, your thyroid hormones and a whole endocrine system. And you can't just look at sex hormones on their own. You have to see, because they're talking to each other.
Exactly.
They're talking to each other. And if one is out of range, if your cortisol is up, you're highly stressed and your cortisol levels are either very high or from chronic stress extremely low, certain things will not work as well. So if I give you hormones and I don't address the cause of it, I'll just have to keep giving you more and more because it's something we call pregnenolone steal, where the cortisol is the hormone that your body needs to survive, more so than it is the hormone.
Right.
So it will make sure that it keeps the body alive by taking substances from wherever it can to make itself, which includes
Really?
the sex hormones.
What a brave
So when
one.
but it's doing its job
doing its
because it
job.
needs to keep you alive.
Exactly.
So if it doesn't keep you alive,
Right.
it's not doing its job.
we
So
gotta
what
make
it
sure-
does is however it can manufacture itself in the body, it will. And one of these ways is to steal from the sex hormone pathway. So you will tank and you'll say, oh, I'm hormones. So we give you the hormones, but guess what? The more we put in, especially if it's synthetic hormones,
Right.
it's just putting a whole other spin on things.
Right.
The easiest way is to start to address these things in your 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Start to eat well. And coming on the heels of Jeune Creole, I told somebody we will start on Monday, because this weekend was a free-for-all.
Yes, sir.
And the foods that were served were not exactly the healthiest, but boy, did they taste good.
They did. Absolutely.
And so now that we can look before, we have a little window of opportunity before Christmas.
Christmas,
Because
yes.
then it's another free-for-all.
Yeah. But imagine us just going from one to the next and not...
And not if you eat
Not even a
well
little intervention.
80% of
Yeah.
the time, it will be because food is healing.
Yeah.
And good food, and we have an abundance of good food. Just on my way here, I saw the stalls on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, how can we eat all these processed foods and fried foods and all these foods that have more than 5 and 6 ingredients when we have all of that? We
good
have
stuff.
at the farmer's market on Saturday,
Aye,
I
yes.
got all my fresh food. And what I noticed, though, is a lot of people were gravitating towards the food, the acras and so. And there was an abundance of fresh food, abundance of the ground provisions and so. And not many people were going there because the food at the market on Saturday
Yes.
was a little different. It was
Right. There was more Creole based.
more Creole based, so people were
Right.
going for that. And I had gone and got my spinach,
I know,
and
these have
all
such
of
good
these
ones.
things were there. And we know that they're organic.
Yes.
So, me and Helen's daughters, I have to put a plug in for them.
Yes.
And every last Saturday of the month, they are at the Alias Française grounds.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing vibe. But the
Right.
most important thing is that I call it the pharmacy. This is where you get, and it's farm her seed because
Yes.
the
Women,
women there
yes.
know their stuff and they know what,
Absolute.
and the food there is healing. It's all fresh,
Very healthy.
unprocessed, healthy food.
Absolutely.
But if we eat that 80% of the time, minimally processed fresh food, which we have an abundance of, we can avert many diseases.
Right. Doc, let's take a word from our partners.
Yes, we do.
And when we come back, we're going to delve into your new establishment. Well, your new home.
My new home.
Your new home, because it's not something new to you. You've been doing it. You just found a new home for it.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that. Let's take a word. Courts and, of course, the First National Bank.
We've got 101 reasons for you to shop at Courts now. Get up to 35% off selected items store-wide. Save on select fridges, stoves, washers, smart TVs, and more. Get what you want today with no cash and make your first payment in 30 days. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield extended warranty. So there are 101 reasons to shop at Courts. Courts, bringing value home. Promotion runs from September 25th to October 23rd, 2023. Conditions apply.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
And we are back. In case you're just joining us, this is She Speaks on Radio Caribbean International. Our guest is Dr. Tanya Destang Beaubrun. We are talking a lot of things today. It's the wrap up of our October month, and we are we are transitioning into it because we were heavily focused on breast cancer throughout the entire month. So I think, she was the perfect choice to end of this month because she can speak to both worlds. And of course, yes, we know what breast cancer, we got all of the information surrounding that. But then let's talk about care. Let's talk about, holistic approach. Let's talk about, things in general, things that we can do, even if we are not affected by breast cancer, but things that we can do that could enhance our life and so
I think we want to focus on lifestyle as a way of prevention.
Right.
And when I tell people that it's not necessarily that doing that will prevent you getting sick, but what I'm hoping is that by the time your body is so well,
yes,
your cells are working optimally, everything is balanced, that when you get sick, your body is better able to handle it.
Right.
And sometimes even, get it back into a normal zone faster.
Very well.
And it is about the physical, which is eating properly, eating minimally processed foods, decreasing sugar and all these, the wheat and all of these things that are really not the best for us.
Did you say wheat?
Wheat. Because the
thinking
wheat now has been so processed that what it is showing that it is actually most people are reacting in some form or fashion if you have high amounts of wheat.
Oh,
yes.
And you see, that could have been that one is a throw-off because a lot of people's thinking, wheat, and we go with the wheat.
Whole wheat.
Oh,
and
yes.
Eat whole wheat cricks, and we'll eat whole wheat
yes.
biscuits, and we'll eat all of that. But if your body's very sensitive, even those whole wheat products can actually
affect you negatively.
Affect you.
Oh, wow. You see?
So you want to eat foods with like 3 or 4 ingredients alone if you are buying foods, but then just cook food. Chicken has 1 ingredient, fish has 1 ingredient, dashing yam, breadfruit have 1 ingredient, all the vegetables are 1 ingredient foods. So if you try to focus on 1 ingredient foods 80% of the time, then you're okay. I mean, I had floats on the weekend. I tried to limit it because it doesn't do well for me. But I went to town on the guava cheese. The guava cheese was really good, and the coconut balls were really good. And I justified it because they were small. When they're big, you eat it one. But because they were small, I had about 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, look at you,
we justify ourselves. But I went back. I went back, and I felt.
But at least, you know what? Because you're already on a nice program,
Yes.
going to town for that one day would not have been such a.
It's not too bad, but I felt
exactly.
it, you know.
I know you
felt
would
it
feel
after a
guilty,
while. I felt
but
not
just-
guilty. I felt it in my body.
And you
Like
felt it in your-
my
I just
tummy
feel
was
guilty.
like, oh no,
feel so
I
guilty.
ditched the guilt a long time.
Let me tell you, I feel so
I
guilty.
eat every single morsel of my coconut ball with great
Yeah.
pleasure.
No, girls get guilty after a while.
No, I think we are reached a stage where we need to, and that's one of the things. Self-love is a
Right.
great part
Listen,
of what
let
we
us
do.
delve into Satya right now, because Satya, the new home, I had the privilege of visiting, and it is one word for me, therapeutic. It's from the moment you step into the,
it
you
is your
open that
haven.
door, and it's just
It's your
welcoming.
haven.
Yes.
It's a sanctuary.
A sanctuary. I
It's a
did say sanctuary because
for
that's what it
healing.
felt like, and
That was the idea.
it's beautiful. So congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
new home. But you know what's in the mind now? I mean, we saw it. Well, they didn't get to see, but we saw how excited you are to be in that new space. It just you just like relax into the zone.
Yeah, because it's something that I've been thinking of for a long time, since I came back 5 years ago.
Right.
And I wasn't sure how functional and integrative medicine would be received here.
Right.
But thankfully, with awareness and people seeing how their bodies, their health, and their lives change, it is now sort of more acceptable and
Right.
accepted by the patients. So the key part is not just physical, where I'm just checking your labs and doing, and giving you prescriptions. I want to know why these imbalances are there. I want to see trends. I want to see what is happening to your body and why because you are a unique bio-individual person. You have a you're not genetically the same as anybody else.
Right.
So I have to find out why you got to this point. So it's not just about the physical and telling you to eat properly and to exercise consistently and to watch your environment, because you want to look at internal environment and external. What are you exposed to? What are you putting on your body? Are you putting toxins on your body that are affecting your liver? Because the liver is the organ that detoxifies.
Right.
If you overburden it with what you're breathing in, what you're eating, what you're putting on your skin, all these nice things that shimmer and smell sweet have a lot of additives and all these things. It's absorbed. The skin absorbs everything. The other part is the mind. What is going on? We're all very stressed. Nobody has come through COVID without having the stress affect them in one way or another. Okay. A lot of us saw a thickening of our waist, and that was from the excess cortisol, because we were so stressed. Wow. So people are saying, "Oh, I'm so fat." I'm like, I don't want you saying you're so fat. Yes, you've put on some pounds, but let us see where it is. Check your body composition. Where's the fat stored? Is it around your belly? Is it different places? Will give me an idea of where it is. Okay. It's about sleeping. We need to prioritize sleep, because sleep is when our bodies heal. It is when our brain cells heal. When every cell in our body decides, let me take a break. Now that she's sleeping, I can start to repair things.
Right.
It's about self-worth. Are you living on purpose? Do you know what your values are? Because if you don't know if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So it's all about that. So there's the mind and emotional, mental part. And then there's the spiritual part, our connections. And this past weekend was a very important part of connections. Nurturing the connections we have. People went down to see their families in their homes of origin. We got together. Even the eating of the coconut balls and the guava cheese was a form of connection, because we're passing, boy, that coconut ball tastes good. It was connecting with family and friends who probably we don't see as often as we would have because of work and other family obligations. So it was about connections. Are we truly connected? COVID sort of made us get used to being isolated. So it was, we were isolating at home and we were physical distancing. And it really gave us moments of pause for me to say, even after COVID, I was happy to leave work and go straight home, because I was so used to doing that. And I wasn't connecting with my friends. I wasn't connecting with people I had seen, because my ritual had been for 3 years, go straight home.
Yes.
Curfew coming home, And we isolated ourselves, and we masked ourselves as well. We masked so much.
Yeah.
You hid behind the mask, and it was great. And then the masks are off now, and we're still trying to find, invisible masks to hide that Many of us are hurting. Many of us are having mental issues. Many of us are having family issues, work issues. Or during those 3 years, we had moments of in-depth analysis and say, listen, I'm not happy with my life. I'm not happy with my body, or I'm not happy with my relationship. And now we have to fix it. And the masks are off. And life has just suddenly come back to normal. We had a kind of slowdown during COVID, and it just has come back with a bang. And I don't know if many people have had the opportunity to address what needed to be addressed.
Yeah, like it's like a total balancing of the three. You said connect, and yes, while it might be connecting physically with our family and our friends, what it is doing for us on an individual basis is connecting those three: the spiritual, the mental, and of course the physical.
It is important that we focus on all three, and I think we cannot heal ourselves. And we do have
by addressing just one.
And we have an innate ability. Our bodies can heal ourselves with the right partner, showing. If you address what is wrong, and if you understand what is happening to your body, you know what to do. It's the understanding of what is happening, which is why it takes so much time to get people to understand. These are your last, but this is what it means.
Right. And this is where Satya is taking us. Satya is ensuring. Satya has been in the field for quite some time. Satya has understood that, here I was dealing with the physical, and I'm still seeing certain patterns. I'm still seeing certain things. There's got to be more. So Satya delved into it and figured out, hey, they don't operate in... No. They do have to be in unison.
I had to learn that from my own healing path, by healing myself and saying, listen, the blessing for me was being on the other end of a stethoscope.
Right.
And actually looking up and seeing doctors, and I'm like, you guys can't figure out what's going on with me because you're not looking at me, you're only looking at a disease.
Right.
And nobody's touching me and nobody's looking into my eyes. The stethoscope is touching me, but nobody's actually touching me when all I probably needed was a hug or somebody to tell me it's going to be okay. Because even as a doctor, when you're on the other end, you do get scared.
Or not even...
Especially
because
you know what can go wrong. So I was scared.
Right.
And I'm trying to explain, and it's like, nobody's taking me on. I say, but I'm feeling this, and it's almost like, there she is, a woman in her 40s.
But do you think that was a divine...
it was the greatest blessing of my life.
Operating just as the doctor, you would have been just like the doctors who were looking down
That's
at you.
how we were all trained.
Right. So that was a divine intervention there.
It was really... it was the greatest blessing, being on the other end of the stethoscope, and also having the courage to speak up and say, I am going to take charge of my health.
About that, courage, though.
That was, you have to talk to your colleagues who are older than you. Okay. Some of them have taught you, some of them, and you're like, no, this is not what I want. I don't think this is going to work. I think this is the way I want to go. Or this medication will not work for me because I've tried it before.
Let me ask you something, Doc. I'm just sniffing on. She brought me a gift, and it's her new scent. Soul Joy, is it?
Soul Joy.
Soul Joy. That's a new scent. Listen, it's addictive, and
she's
it's
sniffing the candle, guys.
Calming.
This is a candle.
Don't think she's
sniffing
calming.
anything.
It's a candle actually, and it's calming. It's not yet labeled, so we'll let you know when you can go get yours. For now,
give it to the
for now, what I wanted to ask though, Doc. It is our belief on the outside of the whole thing. We were taught, or we were somewhere that notion came into being to us that, the medical side of things, when you have doctors practicing within the medical pharmaceutical world, and you come and you talk about the way you're talking about there, like medicine and bush and that sort of style of thing, doctors, we were taught, were supposed to really shut these conversations down. Is that a myth on our end, or is that something that...
There's some truth to it, because in medical school we were not taught about the importance of food and nutrition as healing.
So it's all scientific.
There's all science behind functional and integrative medicine.
Right.
And what I like to tell people, things like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine and homeopathy were the medicines of choice thousands of years ago. There was no Western medicine.
But did you get resistance from your colleagues when you came back with this?
I don't think, first of all, I'm not even sure I had given up on speaking to them. So Satya means
right, so
truth.
It didn't matter. So you wasn't
Satya
looking.
stands for truth, and it was about me living my truth and speaking and having the courage to speak my truth and say, listen, I am not knocking Western medicine. I still practice it because it saves lives every minute of every day.
Right.
But I think that we're losing the battle on prevention. We are great at treating disease when it occurs, but we're not saving as many lives as we could, because sometimes by the time the patient comes with diseases that early on were easily treated or even preventable, I started to see, but how am I doing no harm by just writing prescriptions for diseases? I wanted to do more.
This is heartfelt. I like this.
I really wanted to do more. And I started into integrative wellness coaching. And the first patient that I coached ended up being myself.
Yourself.
Because I changed. When
Right.
I learned all of this, I said, wow, so I am on the right track. And then I found out functional medicine to heal me. And I thought, because I burnt out. What was happening was that I had burnt out and didn't know.
Right. Was there ever a time, we've got to wrap up in a while, but I'm just curious, was there ever a time when your training sort of battled with what you were thinking or you were feeling and where you thought you had to go? Did you ever had a moment?
No.
Okay.
I think once I made the decision to to study functional and integrative medicine, it was as if everything opened up for me.
Right. Everything aligned.
Everything
wasn't it?
aligned.
So there was no
And
resistance from one end to the next.
if there was a resistance, I was blissfully unaware because my head was were in books. And I continue to do trainings every year. I do 2 or 3 different certifications. We've just done one on reproductive health, and earlier was
Okay. Who is your training to? Do you offer it to other doctors?
No. I go away to be trained.
To train.
I go to
you
learn.
go to get the training yourself.
Yeah, I go to be
Oh,
trained.
well, you're
I
going
go
to have
get
to start your
learned.
own training session.
No,
to
I
some
go.
of-
I love learning, so I go
Oh.
to 2 or 3 times a year. I go to conferences, and there's always a
Right.
certification that they offer, and I take advantage and do it.
I like this. I
do
certainly
it.
like this. Okay, let's just swing back around like briefly to the new home and how is it that it's operating? Is it open every day? How can we?
Well, I mean, it's still part of the
Why
Ronnie Bay
should we
Medical
okay,
Center.
right.
It's not that I've moved out. I've just given it a special little private
for itself.
magic zoo, little
Right.
fairy dust over
Yeah, I
it.
know. Listen, the fairy. Yeah,
It's like a little fairy dust
have
in my
a
little
lot of the
little
butterflies
area.
and it's like the lotus and everything.
is
really nice.
It's designed to be a sanctuary, so you can
Right.
come and you see me as a doctor, yes.
Right.
But for instance, yesterday a patient needed to be put into the Soul Joy Sanctuary,
Right.
this room of darkness. So we
And you
did
do
a
the IVs as well. So
Yeah, we had
maybe
IV.
okay. So somebody may not feel that they need to come in on a scientific. Well, for that the Western side of things. But if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling,
I still
you
want
could,
to know
you could
why.
Want to come to you,
I
ain't?
still want to know why you
Right.
burnt out, because there are different reasons. For me, I burnt out 3 times and 3 different reasons each time.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
people need to understand that the sanctuary is available, and if you're just feeling that your body is saying
Just
something,
schedule an
just
appointment,
schedule an appointment.
And let's have a conversation about what is going on.
Yes,
Because
yes.
the conversation is where it starts.
Right.
An open conversation with somebody who's going to listen and say, okay, I need to know, just talk, just tell me.
Absolute.
And then, when you start to cry, I put you in the room
Yeah.
and then calm you
Oh,
down
that
with
little room
sound
there.
and
Oh.
aromatherapy and all of that.
That
The room
is
that you
nice
like.
light. That's my favorite room. Let me tell you, this room does do a thing to me though. I'm not sure I'm too comfortable. Maybe that's why I keep hiding, because it just gets you in the space, and all of a sudden you just
Just
go
remember,
into-
she's alone in that room. I'm not there.
She's not there, and I'm
There's
starting
nobody
to-
there.
and I'm starting to
It's
go through a
dark,
walk with myself.
and you finally start to listen
Connect.
to
Yeah,
yourself
start to
and
connect.
reconnect with your
Yeah.
inner wisdom.
Listen. I was there for 2 seconds the other day, and from the time I lie on the bed, turn on the little heat pad, and I'm like, no one is in there, and I'm starting to mind travel. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And and then I went somewhere I didn't want to go for now. And I just, I didn't tell you, but I said, listen, if she come in here, she could tell me, let it be. You have to let it be. And
You
I
have
said,
to let things
I
come
said
through.
nothing. I already
It will
yes.
come back again.
It will come back.
It will come back
And by that
again.
time, I probably would be, we'll figure it out. But,
Remember, unexpressed things will come back either emotionally or physically.
oh God,
Just
I hope it
remember
don't
that.
come back physically for
So
me now, innit?
address it sooner than later.
Okay, well,
I'm
we have
not.
to
I'm not
fix
trying to
this.
scare people. I'm just
No,
saying
it's the
people, you need to
reality.
address
It's the
things.
reality. And
Yeah.
who best to hear it
If
from?
you don't
You
address
gotta be
these
real with
things,
us.
sometimes
Yeah.
you get a physical awakening,
No, well, you have to be real
and you
with
get
us,
forced to
know.
put into hospital where, guess what? You have
You don't wanna be
nothing to
that.
do but think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't have that now.
Would you rather be in the hospital bed or in the sanctuary bed? So you
we
decide
cannot have
where.
that now.
Right.
Guys, no,
So-
listen, I am one of you. And I'm speaking to the defiant ones, you know, the ones that laid back with this whole thing.
You're not defiant.
I am laid back. I'm a little too laid back with this. I know that. I'm no, you don't have to tell me. I'm telling
But
myself.
I wouldn't call you defiant because you are aware.
I am aware. I am aware.
You're
But
aware.
I keep thinking I have time. I am like that. I'm thinking I don't want. Maybe it's a little scared. Maybe it's masking a lot of things going on there. So sometimes I say, if I don't know, then I won't worry about if I don't know, I don't know. You get like
You
that
sound
kind
like
of way.
a lot of patients that say that.
Right.
I'd rather
So
not
that's what I'm
know
saying. I'm talking to
until
them.
you're forced to know.
To know.
And then there's a big no.
Right.
When you get it,
When
you
you get to
understand?
know.
So I'd
So,
rather
yeah.
every
Give you a little piece,
dose,
yes.
a little dose of
Yeah,
no's.
deal with it now, or
Deal with
you know,
it
like you said,
early
cry
on.
once. Like we say that cry once, that meaning that you know what you're gonna but
But you know, you many patients think that they're worse off than they really are. So they come in with their laugh and say, "Okay, give me the bad news," and they start to
Yeah.
laugh, and I say, "Well, I really don't have bad news.
Right.
This is what I'm finding."
Right.
And they say, "So I'm not that bad." I said, "No, you're not. You're actually better than you
But
were
knowing
2 or
is
3
such
years
relief.
ago." But everybody thinks that they're so bad.
Yeah, but if you're thinking it and you don't know,
Yeah. and
can
then
you imagine how this weighs on you?
Yes,
You know,
it's
so
weighing on
better
them.
just
They'll be
come in and
crying.
find
I'm like,
out.
Why are you crying?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, but I don't have this is what, and I show it to you. So it's not I'm just telling you. I have it there in a
Right.
document, in a nice
Certainly.
report. There you go. These are your results.
That's
this is
it.
where you're at,
Simple
and you
like
can
that.
see.
Right. Doc, I'm going to give you a few minutes to just round up by leaving some words of, I don't know,
Boy.
encouragement, motivation, whatever you figure you want to leave with us.
I
viewers
think
and
I
listeners.
want people to just take charge of their health and their lives.
Nice.
No one can do it but you. I mean, I can give you a diagnosis or tell you everything is okay, but keeping it so or reversing it, the only person who can do it, the only person who can make the decision on how to eat, to exercise, to make sure they get to bed early enough, to manage stress and to just own the issues in your lives. You're the only person. So you're your greatest healer and you are your medicine. I'm just like holding your hand through it all. But the person who does the main work is you.
Wow. This is so profound.
Yeah. You are your medicine. You just need to take the step.
That. Owning it, understanding that it is first. And
Yeah.
then
Understand that you have a lot more power than you give yourself credit for
There you
in healing yourself.
Wonderful. Doc, thank you so much.
Thank
that
you
was
for
such a
having
beautiful
me.
conversation. And I'll see you soon. Don't think I'll see you soon. I probably
You know what
come
we
to-
should do, Mareen?
Tell me.
We should go through the entire process with you, with the people. Not telling
Yeah.
your private business.
No, we
right?
should. No, we
but
can.
we should. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
So
We're
she's
doing
going
it.
to have her labs done. So we're going
Right.
to talk to the lab.
Right.
So she's going to go through
I'm
the
gonna
process.
go through the process. We're
of
gonna bring
having
you
her
on the
labs.
journey. I think I
And
like that. I
then
feel
we're going
better.
to go through the process of. I mean, we can't disclose, of course, doctor-patient confidentiality.
Right. You take charge of that
We will
part.
take charge,
You
but
will tell
we
me
will-
what I could share and what I can't.
You will choose. You will
listen,
choose.
anything
No, but
I
there's
can
something.
share.
Yeah.
Listen to
What
me.
you can share,
Sometimes-
share.
Listen, it's not by chance you doing what you do. It's not by chance God put me in this
Yes.
influential. So let's do it, because
I
for
think
me
we
doing
should.
that with you just might change some. You understand?
So that's why I speak openly
So
about
let's do
burning
it.
out 3-4 times.
Exactly. So let's do
Because
it.
people think that burnout is it's something that they did wrong.
No,
and for the
man.
first time, well, first of all, I didn't know I was burnt out, and I was trying hard to figure out what's wrong with you, woman.
Yeah,
you know, why you so weak? Why you can't do
and
this?
you-
And
you're
beating up
supposed to
on
be this-
myself,
yeah.
beating up, and and feeling worse because you're the doctor. and
Yes,
you can't
you're not
find,
supposed
you're
to
not
be that.
supposed to be sick.
Yeah.
And you can't find what's wrong with you.
Right.
And all your colleagues are looking at you like there's nothing wrong with you. So they tell you there's nothing wrong. Your
Right.
labs are normal.
You're not
or the
feeling
labs that we do.
yourself.
And I know something is wrong.
Right.
But I didn't know what I
What it
know
was.
now.
Exactly.
So
Well,
why
let's
did
do
I?
it.
So let's do
Let's
that.
do it.
So we're
gonna
going
do
to
it.
go
We're gonna
on
take
the
you guys on the
Satya journey.
Yes,
The
we're doing
body
that.
joy journey
Absolutely.
with Mareen.
We're doing this. All right. Remember, we're doing
So
this.
we're going
look
to
out
do
for that.
this, and we're going to make sure that
Yolanda,
She's
thank
healthy.
you. Oh, she said thank you for your services, Doc.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Oh, that's right. Wonderful. Take a wonderful. All right. Thanks again, Doc. That's our show for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we'll see you. Well, Doc is looking forward to seeing you soon. Let me tell you.
You need to call to schedule
Call,
an appointment.
schedule him. What's the number again, Doc?
452-8621.
There you go. Got that number. Call up. Schedule an appointment. You never know. Sometimes we sit down there thinking we all good.
Or sometimes you think you're not good and you're better
And
than
you're better
you
than
think.
you thought.
Most
So
of the
all of
times
that
you're much better than
you think. So
Yeah.
let's get that happening. And we're doing the Satya journey. Remember
Yes,
that.
let's
Remember
do
to look
that.
out for that.
So we're giving her till the end of the year, people.
I'm doing it.
We
I'm doing it with
are
you.
holding her accountable.
Accountable. Oh gosh, that I need. I think I need that part.
So we're going to make sure that the tests and everything get done, and we're going to show you the different steps in her journey.
Right. Let's do that.
Yes.
All right. We're certainly going to do that. Thank you again to our partners. Courts, we appreciate you. First National Bank, thank you so very much. I'll be back at 2 o'clock with my DJ. Hyper D is up next, so stay tuned.
Thank you.
Set the trend. Be seen wearing the best and latest styles in eyewear from Quartz Optical. World-class brands like Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Armani, Kate Spade, Vogue, and much more. New brands, new styles. Starting at only $799 with special financing available. Plus, trade in and save up to 35% off all lenses. Yes, set the trend and save a massive 35% off all lenses when you trade in your old pair of glasses today. Book your free eye exam right now only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Isn't it great when your experience pays off? Finally, drivers 50 years and over can enjoy the benefits of their years of driving experience. With Beacon's 50 Plus plan, you can expect a hassle-free sign-up, affordable fixed rates, and free windscreen cover with your car insurance. Call us at 458-5860 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get driving today.
With outlets from Gros Lake to Soufriere, W-Mart is indeed your community shop. Giving you the best prices and widest variety. We've got everything you need. Chicken, turkey, beef and pork, saltfish, pigtail, ham, all in stock. Delicious franks, nuggets, cheese and fries. Prices you can't beat and quality for sure. With 9 locations island-wide, W-Mart is your one-stop family meat shop. W-Mart, small store, big convenience.
This Christmas, the biggest sale on houseware and home appliances is starting as early as right now. Shop at Casabella today and save 40, 50 and 60% off store-wide. Bath sets and shower curtains, blenders, toaster ovens and a wide variety of kitchenware. All going at 40, 50 and 60% off. Plates and non-stick pans, baking dishes, pressure cookers and sandwich makers. Mugs, glasses, 40, 50 and